again, fellow comic addicts. It's Joe with Black Box Silver and Bronze with another comic book haul to share with you. Stick around. Hello again, comic book friends. I've got another great stack of comic books to share with you today. Make sure you stick around to the end because I got a really good one at the end. So the first one I want to share is Baffling Mysteries number 13. This is from January of 1953 by Ace. And Baffling Mysteries ran from, I think, number 5 through 26 in the early 50s. And I'm going to drop in up here a cover number 7, which is the first Baffling Mysteries I picked up with a great swamp creature cover. And that's how I found out about this series. So I've been looking for these. They've all got great covers. And if I find them for a decent price, I'll pick them up along the way. This one has a great mummy cover there. So I thought that was really cool. All right, the next comic is Out of This World number 1. This is from 1989, and that's a Bruce Timm cover. And I'm a big Bruce Timm fan. I've got a lot of his cover work. And this particular issue has black and white interiors. It basically has some great sci-fi reprints from Strange Worlds number 6, Tomb of Terror number 6, and Weird Tales of the Future number 1. And this great cover is an homage cover to Space Adventures number 12, which I'll drop in over here so you can see that one. That's one I'd like to find someday. It's all the copies I've ever seen have been very, very pricey, but this is one that you can pick up fairly affordably. It goes for, a lot of times it goes for over $100, but if you're patient, you can find them for a lot less. Like, I think I got this one for about $40 or $45. It's in very good shape. Really happy to have that one. This next one is super cool. I would be surprised if anybody has seen this before. If you have, if you know anything about it, put something in the comments. This is a promotional comic book called Pete and Pierre on the French Railroads. And as you know, if you've watched my channel, I do like comic books with trains on the cover. This one popped up on eBay and there was a chance to make an offer on it. And so I negotiated. I got a pretty good deal on this. And before I did that, I just started, trying to research on the internet. I could not find any other copy of this. I couldn't find information on it anywhere. I went to the Grand Comic database. I use My Comic Shop a lot as a resource because they'll have pictures and information about the comics that are in their inventory, that have been in their inventory. I couldn't find anything out about it. So I think it's a pretty rare comic, and it's pretty neat because it was designed to get people to come to France and travel to France. It was by the French National Railroads, and they were trying to get tourists into France. And it's actually a really interesting story. So these two kids, Pete and Pierre, their dads knew each other in World War II. So Pete's dad sends him from the U.S. over to France to meet up with Pierre's family, and the sons are about the same age, to spend the summer over there. And so what they do is they basically travel around France for the summer, mostly by train, but also by cars and buses and bicycles and stuff. And basically they just hit all the famous spots around France. So it's really cool because it's a neat story, and it's showing you all of the different sites in France that you can go visit. It's really cool. And I really love that cover because instead of having a US train on it, it's got like the European style locomotive. So I was super stoked to find that. And I would appreciate if anybody has seen this before, knows anything more about this. I don't even know the year that it was printed or the publisher. It's not in here. I'm guessing this is around the late 50s, because one of the things that I did notice is if you look at the address for New York, right? Look how that's written, New York 20, New York. There's no zip code there. And the 5-digit zip code was introduced in 1963. It became permanent a few years later, maybe 1965, but it was introduced in 1963. And one of New York's zip codes in New York City is 10020. So this is before that. So I got to date this prior to 1963, and I'm thinking probably the late 50s. So that's pretty cool little historical item I found. Some more comics I found that I think are really cool. I didn't know about these. These are from 1989. And right around that time period, like around 1989 into the 90s, I wasn't collecting. I had just graduated from college, and basically I was like starting my new career, and I was busy with that, so I wasn't collecting. But this is the Hobbit number 1 from Eclipse, and this is from 1989. And what's really cool about this, it's a three issue story. It was adapted by Chuck Dixon. It has these wraparound covers. Unfortunately, it's got that information there, which detracts from the image, but it's still pretty cool. It's a wraparound cover, and it's like watercolor paintings. I don't know if it's actually watercolor or it was done, with computers, but it looks like watercolor paintings, and it's really cool. And so that's issue 1. And then here's issue 2. Again, with they're in a cave. There's the boat there. There's issue 2. And finally, issue 3. So it's a 3-issue story. It's got some great artwork in it, and it looks really good, really close to the original storyline. So I was really happy to find that. I remember there was a cartoon when I was young, the Hobbit cartoon. I remember really enjoying that. So that's pretty cool to see that in comic books. I got this Golden Age comic that Night Tiger, Mike Smith, pointed out to me.
Watch Night Tiger comic!
He found one of these for sale on eBay, and he sent me the link. I actually wound up getting this from New Cadia because they were having a sale. I got it for a lot less. But this is Magic Comics number 59 from June 1944. And you can see it's got Dagwood on there, Dagwood Bumstead, trying to catch that train, this is a great cover. I love that one. Another train cover, which is something I haven't seen before, this style. And basically, this comic has what I think are reprints of newspaper comics. So you see like Lee Falk's Mandrake, the Magician is in here, Blondie, Popeye, the Lone Ranger, Secret Agent X9, and they appear to all be newspaper reprints. And then on the back cover is this ad for Captain Tootsie. And if you look at that artwork, you could probably recognize it. That's C.C. Beck. It says it up here as well. But if you look at that, it looks kind of like, those old Golden Age Shazam type artwork. So that's pretty cool. Magic Comics number 59. Like that one. All right, a small stack of more modern stuff that I got from my local comic shop. I popped in there and was just going through his dollar box. He's got like $2 boxes that up near the register that he's constantly refilling. So I just swing by there every week or so, 2 weeks, just go through, see if he put any new stuff in. And, he's very generous with me. He's always giving me discounts. Great guy. So I got all of these books for $5. So they turn out to be not $1, but 70 cents a piece. So Avengers number 150. Okay. Can't pass that up for 70 cents. Avengers number 151. Another 70-cent cut. They're all complete. They're all attached. They're not high grade, dirty, creases, things like that, but good enough for Joe. Firestorm number 9. I grabbed this one because this was one of my favorite series when I was younger. So this had to be in the mid 80s. And I really liked Firestorm. I remember 3 comics from DC that I really liked at the time, around this time, were Firestorm, Unknown Soldier, and Jonah Hex. All different genres, but I really liked them. So I picked that one up. And then I grabbed this one. He had 5 or 6 of these Darkhold issues. I just grabbed it because, it was only $1, turned out to be 70 cents. I thought, oh, that's a really cool cover. And it's got Doctor Strange in it, the Scarlet Witch, Agatha Harkness. They're all in this. And I thought, oh, that's a really cool cover. And it might be pretty cool. And he has other issues there. So I figured I'll grab this one, see if it's any good. And maybe I'll go back for the others. But it's no good. I didn't really enjoy the story that much. But I do like the cover. I think that's a really cool cover. And for 70 cents, who cares? And now I got another Avengers. This is Avengers 350. And so this is a good one because if you can find this like for 70 cents or in the dollar bin, it's got a gatefold cover. And if you open up the cover, well, let me show you. If you open up the cover, I love it when they do things like this on these types of issues where you've got a reprint of Avengers number 1 cover. And then if you open it again, they've got a bunch of other covers, which are, significant issues, right? And if you flip it over, okay, the back is a reprint of issue number 53. And it's got other covers for you to enjoy looking at as well. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know that when I bought it, but when I brought it home and saw that, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I would definitely pay $1 for that. And it's got a lot of history too. It's got all those pictures. And one of the things that I also enjoy about comics is the history of comics. And a couple more I got from the same deal was I got this Punisher number 75. So it's an anniversary issue. And it's one of those foil covers. So this is the, I had about like maybe 8 or 10 of these in the box. So I just grabbed the one that I thought was in the best condition. And it's a nothing comic, but this was in the time period that I wasn't collecting when all of the bling was going on. I wasn't aware that this was happening. So for me, it's kind of fun to find them now and see. And some of them are pretty good. I mean, it was overused, all this foil and the embossing and the dye. It was overused, but some of them were pretty cool. This one is one that's pretty cool. The way that they used it on the knife, pretty cool cover. So I grabbed that one. And the last one I got, which also is really cool, is this Spider-Man, Storm, and Power Man Battle Smokescreen. So this was put out by the American Cancer Society, and it's an anti-smoking promotional giveaway comic. And if you've watched my show, you've seen that I like promotional comics. So whenever I find them, I think it's really cool because you don't really hear about these things, right? They were giveaways. So when you dig through the box and you find one, it's pretty cool. So this one is Spider-Man, Storm, and Power Man. And it's got some information about, why you shouldn't smoke on the back, and it's by the American Cancer Society. Really dirty, low grade, but very happy to have that. So now I want to share with you this book here. This is called The Art of Archie and the Covers. And I picked this book up. There's a website called archiecomics.com. And I don't know why. I've been there before, I guess. Maybe I've bought something from them. But they sent me a email to this thing was on sale. So I went and checked it out, and it normally goes for $29.99. It was on sale for $9.99. So I grabbed it. I figured, all right, I'll try it. I don't really go for these kind of books, but it would be interesting to see what this is about. So what this is about is throughout here, it's got some famous covers from Archie, and it's more than that. I thought it was just going to be, each page a cover, and it's more than that. It's got some history about the artists. It's got some history about the company. There's a lot of historical stuff in here, which I really like. That's an aspect of comic book collecting that I enjoy. And then it does, it groups kind of like, all right, here's the swimsuit covers, here's the kissing covers, things like that, okay? And so this front cover, here's a cool feature of it. This front cover comes off from Life with Archie #1. That's Harry Lucy art. And then Fernando Ruiz drew this picture for the back of the cover, right? Let's take a look at that, and then we'll go back to the front. You can see it's, the perspective of looking at them from the back. And so when you open the cover, it's got this nice spread. The inside back cover is like this too, with all these covers. And then it's got a table of contents here that these are all the different things that that are talked about in the book. So I want to just share a few with you. So for instance, if you go to page 36, okay, so what they do is on the right side of the page here, it talks about one of the artists. So this one talks about Bill Vigoda, and then they give you a picture of him and some information about him, little biographical information, and then they give you one of the covers that he did. And so I found this really interesting because I didn't know this, but I know the name Vigoda from an actor, Abe Vigoda, and it turns out that's his brother, and that's him in this picture here. This is, I don't know who is who. One is Abe Vigoda, and the other is Bill Vigoda. Abe Vigoda was that actor who played Fish on Barney Miller, in case you're thinking about that name. And then so you go throughout the book. It's not like all the artists together. It's like they're spread out. If we go back to page 22, it's got some information on Bob Montana, and then a picture of one of his covers. Okay, page 13, 14, and 15 is basically about how they produced it. So here you see, here's like the idea sketch. And then this is what it comes out to once the artists, create it from the idea sketch. And then the next page shows you how they make, or used to make, a comic book. Here's the picture that was drawn and inked. And then the printer makes these 4 color plates, right? Blue, red, yellow, and black, right? And then once they use all 4 plates, that's the final product, right? So that's pretty cool that you get to see how they do that. One of the good sections in here is Archie First. So this has covers of different things that were first appearances. Like this one here is the first appearance of Archie on the cover in that little bubble. This one is the first appearance of Archie's jalopy. And this is the first appearance of Reggie over here. This is the first appearance of Moose. And this is the first appearance, the one with Archie with the football there is the first appearance of his father. This is the first appearance of his mother. The first appearance of the coach. The first appearance of Miss Grundy, the first appearance of Veronica's dad, the first appearance of a soda pop owner, first appearance of Kevin Keller. So pretty interesting stuff. And then one that I really liked was this one. So I went out and actually got this comic. I'm going to show you that very shortly. But on page 100, it talks about this one, this Archie cover that has the pink banner on it, the pink masthead. So over here, it talks about that Archie normally had the blue-red, red-blue cover, and this was alternated every month. And the reason it was alternated was they wanted it to be a consistent masthead so people knew what they were getting, but they wanted to alternate it. So each month it popped and it's like, hey, this is new, buy me, right? So they were alternating it. And then when this comic was ready to go to print, they forgot to alternate it. So at the last minute, I showed you earlier those 4 color plates. It's expensive to make those plates, right? And so at the last minute, they realized we screwed up. It's going to be the same color again, blue and red. And they, instead of making new plates at a high cost, they were able to just manipulate the plates that already existed and create this pink banner so that it would be different, but it wouldn't be at a high cost to them. So this is a great book. If you can find it, if you like Archie at all, you might want to look for this, especially if you could get it for $10. And it's got a nice kind of foil Archie up there. My one complaint about this is there's no chapter on innuendos. I mean, we all know that Archie covers were known for innuendos, like that beat off cover and other different things like that. And I couldn't believe when I went through this, I read the whole thing. I really enjoyed it, and it's a good product. But when I got to the end, I could not believe that there was not a chapter on innuendo covers. I think they missed the mark on that. So I went out and I got this comic, Archie number 115, and I told you the history of the pink masthead there. I found this for a good deal. It's got a subscription crease. You can kind of see it there. But boy, that's a great cover, isn't it? Really cute. And it's neat that it has the history of that pink masthead. So after I got this, I was just scanning around on eBay, and I found out that there's another comic that same cover like this. It's Pep Comics number 73. I'm going to drop it in up here. And there was an auction for it. It's a Bob Montana cover. It's basically the exact same. It's exactly the same, just different artist. I think even the words are exactly the same. Total copy, Pep Comics 73. So I saw that. I said, oh, that's really cool. I'm going to try to bid on that, see if I could add that to the collection and make it a nice bookend to this one. And I was really surprised because it wound up selling for $225. It was a VG, and it sold for $225. And honestly, I mean, it's really cute. It's exactly the same like this. You're going to see it's exactly the same like this. And I just don't understand. I think I got this for about this one. I think I got for like about $30. And I don't understand what's so special about that one that made it go for $225. If there's any Archie fans out there who know, can you drop a comment below and let me know if there's something special about that book that I don't know? I'm interested in that. Okay, let's keep going. All right, here's G.I. Jane number 5. Okay, now that cover, I made that. I bought this coverless, so here's why. This is G.I. Jane from number 5 from January of 1954. And I think it ran 11 issues, 1 through 11. I'm pretty sure it was 11 issues. And I wanted to have a copy of G.I. Jane in my collection. And so I've been looking. I never see these here in Hawaii, like in any of the shops or anything like that. So I've been looking online, different stores online, comic conventions, and I never see it. But this was a complete, everything is attached. It's complete. It's just missing the cover. I got it for $20. The other issues of this that I see online, the fair good minus copies are going for like in the $100 range. The 2.5 copies are going like in the $200 range. And then if there's any that you see above that, obviously it's going to be higher. So I wanted to have a copy. I didn't want to pay that much. So I got the coverless copy. And then I just went on Grand Comic Database and Comic Book Plus and downloaded some images and took it to my local print shop, had them scale it up and print it out to the right size and stuck it in there. And that's that. I'm not trying to fool anyone. It's just for my own personal enjoyment. As a matter of fact, I only found the cover online. I didn't find the back cover. Like, it's on Comic Book Plus. Whoever scanned it in didn't include the inside cover or the back inside cover, the back outside cover. So I do have a back cover and an inside cover, but it's from a different issue. I think it's from G.I. Jane number 6. So like, if you were to open this up and read down here in the bottom, it doesn't say G.I. Jane 5, it says G.I. Jane 6. But that was just kind of like a fun little project, and I think it came out all right. It's good enough for me. All right. This is a cool one. Avon, Phantom Witch Doctor number 1. This was a one-shot. There were no other issues of it. And that is just a killer cover. So it's actually, I wasn't looking for this one. I stumbled upon it when I was looking for other comics. So one of the websites I go to that gets in some good stuff is called Worldwide Comics. You might want to check them out. And they put some stuff on sale. And this one I found on sale. And so I'll tell you, this is from 1952. Everett Kinsler cover. It's a 3.0. I got this for $250. And the other ones that I see for sale on eBay, there's a fair copy for $250 for the same price. There's a 2.0 for $475. There's a 4.0 for $600. So I think I got a steal on this one. And I paid a little bit of money for it, but I think comparatively, I did really well. And it's really just a really awesome cover there. You don't see this too much. Okay, the next one is another one that Mike Smith told me about. He sent me the link to this one. I've actually been looking for this one. Mike has this one, and he showed it once, and I see it on his wall sometimes. And I wanted it, and I was begging him to do a trade with me, but he loves it too. So anyway, he found a copy that was on eBay. This is Doll Man number 44, and he sent me a note and said, "Hey Joe, check it out." And it had a make an offer. So I actually made an offer and got it for a little bit less than it was listed for. It does have right here. You can see that there's a little bit of a tear there, right? About a 3-inch tear, but it's not too bad for presenting like that. And so this is Doll Man number 44 from February of 1953. The first appearance of Radioactive Man, and the last one because he doesn't make it. But this is one got to be in my top 5 train covers. I just love this cover. And what I really love about it is Radioactive Man. I think the villains that are on the cover of some of these Doll Man covers, they just nailed the look. And it's so good, like what he's wearing and the colors, his hands are melting the rail up there. The orange flames are reflecting off of his off of his outfit, and the massiveness of the ties that are, being ripped up. I think this is just an amazing cover. I really like it a lot. And so shout out to Mike for, pointing it out for me so I could snag it off of eBay. Next one is Wonder Woman Silver Age, Wonder Woman number 157, and low grade copy. Got a nice tape pull right there. Centerfold's detached, but everything else is okay. It's complete. And this is the first appearance of Egg Fu. The story continues in issue number 158. You might be familiar with that. You see him on the cover, this big egg. He's like the size of a building. And this is his first appearance. And this is classic Silver Age. I love it. It's so it's an anti-communist story, which that's kind of my favorite trope, is reading these in the different time periods. The stories were really talking about different kind of social issues or enemies or things of that nature. So the time period when it was anti-communism is the one that I really like. I grew up in the time of the Cold War, and served in the Navy, and the Soviet Union was our biggest enemy, and so it really resonates with me. And so this is the first appearance of Egg Foo, and there's a bunch of racist tropes in here. He speaks, all his R's are like L's, so instead of saying American, he says American. It's in there. Steve Trevor is battling some saboteurs, and he calls them Chopstick Charlies. But it's a good story, and I hope that I can find the next issue to find out what happens. So that's Wonder Woman number 157. And just a couple left. If you're hanging in there, I found this one. It's just really neat how I find things that I just don't know about, and they're pretty cool. So this is Charlton Sport Library number 1. And this is about the NFL's 1969 season. It's got each team in the NFL, not the AFL, just the NFL. It's got each team, 2-page spread, and it's got some artwork that shows, the main players on the team and some things about them, some stats and stuff. In here, you'll see like Johnny Unitas, Fran Tarkington, Gale Sayers, and they have it's alphabetical for each team. And then there's a story about the Super Bowl, and then there's the team schedule at the end, and that's Charlton Sport Library number 1. And there's no number 2. This is it. I figured there would be other. I was looking. There must be one for the American Football League or a number, another year or something. This is the only one, but it's pretty cool time capsule. So something neat. A modern book that I picked up was this one, Hulk number 9 from February 2009. It's an Art Adams cover, and it's just a great cover. And so it's got all the, it's like woman power, right? So there's, I'm going to try to do this backwards. Tigra, Valkyrie, Hellcat, She-Hulk, Spider-Woman, Sue Storm, Black Widow, Storm, and Thundra, right? And they've defeated the Red Hulk. And this is an homage cover to Avengers number 83, right? So I'll try to put them up side by side here. See if I can do that. All right. And so that's pretty cool. It's a homage cover there. All right. I hope you stuck around. This is the last one. This one is super, super cool. It's something that I had not seen before. And then as soon as I saw it, I knew that I wanted to hunt it down. And I feel like I got a really good deal on this. And so this is Al Cap's Wolf Gal number 1 by Toby Press from 1951. And I think that I never heard about this before. This is a spinoff from the Little Abner strips. And this cover is just amazing, right? The red, that sultry vixen there, who's Wolf Gal, right? With the torn clothes and the green. It is just amazing. And so I saw this, I said, I really want to hunt this down. So I was looking for it. I found a copy. I was able to make an offer, and I think I got this for maybe $225. It does have you can see, if you look carefully there, you can see that it's got the subscription fold, but it's complete, it's attached, and I think I got this for a really good deal. They're not out there, so I think this one has got to be pretty rare. And there is one copy on eBay slabbed. It's a 0.5. It's missing the back cover. It's missing page 7 and 12, which interrupts the story. and they're asking $325 for it. This is much better than that, and it's complete. Everything's attached, and I got it for $225, 200 or 2. I think I was trying to get it for 200, but we ended up at $225, and I was happy to pay that. This is so cool. This reprints the dailies from June 30th to September 22nd of 1946. And if you don't know anything about this character, it's hilarious. I read the whole thing. So she is raised by wolves. That's why she's called Wolf Gal, right? She's super sexy. And she comes to town and she tries to pick up the different guys. And she's trying to pick them up, not because she's interested in them romantically. She's trying to pick them up as food for the wolf pack. So she gets these guys and they're all over her, obviously, right? And like the fatter, the better. So she picks up this one guy, this chubby guy, and she's like, oh, look at all this meat, she's thinking, right? And he's like, hey, do you think you want me to meet your family? And she's like, oh yeah, they want me to bring you home for dinner, right? And so there's all these like kind of innuendo jokes about gravy and meat, bringing them home for dinner. And she's not bringing them home to have dinner with her family, which is what they think. She's bringing them home to be the dinner. So it's super hilarious. I mean, if you're interested in something like this, look for it. There were 2 issues. I'm going to try to hunt down that second issue. So far, just since I've got this one, I haven't even been able to find a copy of that second issue anywhere. But I hope to pick it up. Cover's not as good. This is the best cover. This cover is just amazing. And this is like, I was going through my mind the other day about like maybe the favorite covers in my collection. This one's in the top 5. I really like it. You can tell I'm really happy to have this. So Wolf Gal number 1. That's Al Cap. So that's it. I hope you stuck around and saw that, because it's really cool, I think. And thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and also for the comments. I try to answer all the comments, reply to all the comments. If I don't, I apologize for that. I do try to get on, and anybody who comments, respond to them, because I really appreciate your comments. There's some good stuff in there. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.